don't know if I didn't mention anything. If anyone has a question that doesn't make my head spin, please ask it now.
Are you going to offer the wireless in more sizes in the near future?
I would assume, see, we're a big proponent of power line. The transmissions are a little more reliable when you have the box that connects to your outlet on one side, and then you put a module on the other side on another outlet. I think the grand picture is, at some point in the future, you'd be able to buy a TV, plug the TV in, and only the TV, and it would search your house for anything else that was on the same type of system. Until we get to that point, yes, wireless will probably introduce in more sizes. The brushed metal, I think, was just to make a statement and to really get it out there, but I would assume, just because it's a sweet spot in terms of what we can price it at this year, depending on how popular 3D gets next year, and when we're one of the leaders in developing the 3D, you'll probably see a few more wireless panels next year, but not too many. We don't want to stop people selling 75 feet of HDMI.
To follow up that question, I was surprised when I was at the CES show that you didn't have wireless on the Blu-ray players, you know, because I think, you know, you're advertising all, you know, being able to connect with Amazon and everything else. You don't have Blu-ray on, you don't have the wireless on the thing, and I even spoke to people. I thought
in terms of in the panel.
No, I'm talking even on the Blu-ray players too. You know, I think. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see it this year, but...
My HD DVD friend is here, and that was an unfortunate end. It was a good technology.
Yeah.
But Blu-ray right now is in a race to a very unsafe price point. I think Curtis Mathis, or whatever that house brand is down to $100. So the first thing we needed to do was stabilize and make sure we had good players in the market, hit good price points. I'm sure at some point... we're going to put wireless in. The beauty of it is you can just buy a wireless bridge, because our Blu-ray players have the same VieraCast service with Bloomberg and YouTube and Amazon On Demand. So you can buy you can get them on eBay sometimes for like $8 or $12. But it's, yeah, it adds a cost that right now we're neck and neck with the Samsungs of the world and the Sharps of the world and the LGs on the Blu-ray player itself. I think adding that feature at the factory and forcing a consumer to pay 10, 12, 15, 20 bucks more may have taken us out of a sweet spot, because our entry-level player is $299, and promotionally I think you see it from $229 to $249. Being uncompetitively based in the price would really affect, you know, we're all about right now ramping up Blu-ray and making sure it stays a viable format, and adding the internet stuff like Samsung's doing and LG's doing, to make sure that people think it's an all-in-one box, and not just think that HD from the internet is eventually going to take everything over. We want them to understand the best video you can get right now in a consumer basis is Blu-ray.
But the problem is you have Blu-ray Live and you have all these features, and for the average consumer, they can't address those features unless they get the bridge or unless they hook it up. So, you know, it's really a contradiction there.
You get the wireless TV, and then just put the Blu-ray where your Ethernet comes in.
I got a question about Pioneer. You got.
I'm sorry, I'm passing on.
No. You
One of the P companies. I'll do all the T companies.
Because you acquired the Pioneer TV business of Pioneer last year.
No, we didn't. We did not.
Do you want to state that question again,
Pioneer,
please, so everybody can hear that?
Because Panasonic.
We were in talks. At some point, we were going to look to merge businesses.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's been some brain sharing, and we may have even pulled some engineers in. I have no idea what happens in the motherland in Japan, but we were always as a sales guy, I was a huge fan of Pioneer. I didn't want them to fail, because if you put something like that out there and explain this is the epitome of product, and Panasonic makes very good stuff that's a little bit more affordable, it made the whole plasma universe look that much more successful, that much more viable. With Pioneer going out, it's not that plasma's going away, because trust me, our factories are humming, our pictures are still as good as anybody out there. You know, we have the best sales force on earth. We can produce plasmas if we had to. We could make low-end plasmas that would scare everybody else out of the market, because we have the economies of scale to go ahead. We make every single component inside our TVs. We're not like Vizio last year, where one LCD TV had 3 different panels at some point, and you could never figure out which TV you actually bought. We produce every single component that goes inside our sets, So the economies of scale and all stuff means plasma will be around, but no, we did not buy Pioneer. Be nice though. You know?
So, will you ever have blacker blacks?
They're working on it. They're working on it. There's a lot of processing that happens in the Pioneer set to really finitely control the power output to the pixels. I think at some point there's going to be a convergence of cost and I guess quality there. Because right now, if we could get the premium that Pioneer got, maybe that's the incentive to bridge the gap. But I think as we work more and more, and last year we were 30,001 contrast, this year we're 40,001 contrast, it's going to bear out obviously as much lower numbers on a test scale. But in terms of looking at all the manufacturers, that's where we feel we fit. When we look at what everybody else calls their 20,001 or 30,001, we honestly feel that's 40,001 in measurable attributes. So we're getting there. We actually call our stuff Infinite Black, which we're hoping to get a lot closer to next year.
Yeah, because I read in the news that the best brand in the Pioneer TV business were going to Panasonic later this year, and they are co-developing the latest model, high-end products from Panasonic. And,
careful what you're reading on the internet, especially with this guy posts.
Okay.
No, I've heard similar rumors. I can't confirm anything here. Plus, I don't want. Hi, boss. And Sharp was doing the same thing with Pioneer. Was going to introduce some LCDs, which was going to break my heart. But it's the same kind of thing. The two companies were looking to keep Pioneer viable. I'm sure because we're all Japanese companies there, we're looking to kind of rally together and make sure that something like that stayed around. But no, I can't confirm anything like that.
Thanks.
I've got a question. I'm just wondering. You mentioned something about pixels, and how much does a person has to worry about, like the break-in period?
I would leave that to the expert like Robert. I think was there at least a 100-hour break-in you did before you showed any of these sets today?
We did about 150 hours on each panel.
Yeah. That's not really from a burn-in standpoint, but it's to get the same uniform performance out of every set, so that you're not suspect to any, any
dead pixels
stuff that just kicked. We're the lowest defective rate in the consumer electronics business. We have less than a 2% defective rate on our TVs. So it's
basically to make the panel more stable, so it doesn't move out of the adjustments that we've done. The panel becomes more stable after you put some time on it.
It's like any electronics. It's like your car. Once you drive your car past 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 miles, it's more consistent. You can do a lot more things. You'll feel your car change after a break-in period. But in terms of pixels, we're not worried about the pixels not working or anything. All that stuff's covered under warranty. But the break-in, like in Robert's case, is just to make sure that when he's presenting all these sets to you, you know that these have all been put through their paces and then calibrated.
Question. Can you comment about the criticism of flicker factor for the 24p?
No.
No.
Use 96 hertz setting. That's the
But
only
that's
thing
not
I
on
can
every.
understand.
That's only on this.
B10, yeah.
Yeah.
96 hertz is an equal multiple of 24, so it's a good number.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The bad number is 60.